Are you passionate about numbers, organization, helping people, and working from home on your own schedule? If so, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to be talking about what it takes to be successful as a freelance bookkeeper. It's such a rewarding career because it offers financial stability, if that's what you're looking for, a flexible schedule, and the ability to really help small business owners thrive. Whether you're looking to escape the 9-to-5 corporate grind, start a side hustle, or build a 6 or 7-figure bookkeeping business, all of those things are possible with bookkeeping skills. So let's dive into what it takes to be successful as a freelance bookkeeper. Before we dive in, be sure and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any updates, as I will be walking you through lots of tips and tricks to becoming a successful freelance bookkeeper. Okay, so let's start with what you don't need to be a successful freelance bookkeeper. You don't need a college degree. A college degree is great if you have it, but if you don't have it, don't let that stop you. It's not going to prevent you from being successful as a freelance bookkeeper. We'll talk in a minute why that is and what you do need, but first let's focus on what you don't need, and that is a college degree. Secondly, you don't need any special license to be a freelance bookkeeper. Now, if you were going to file taxes, tax returns, anything like that, yes, you would need special licensing. You'd want to be a CPA or an enrolled agent, but that's not what we're doing here. A freelance bookkeeper does not prepare and file tax returns. So we are focused on bookkeeping only, and with that, you do not need any special licensing. It is not a regulated field, and so that is good news. But of course, there's other things you want to make sure you are to be successful and be good at this, but special license is not needed. What you also don't need is to be a math wizard. I am not a math wizard. I've been doing this over 20 years, and I even struggled with math in high school. So let me just tell you, you don't need to have like a numbers brain necessarily. You want to have an interest in working with numbers, but you don't have to be super math savvy or math wizard. That's certainly nothing that I ever was, and you don't need to be either. And lastly, you don't need to be a certain age to be a successful bookkeeper. You could be in your 20s, you could be in your 70s, in 80s, anywhere in between. It really doesn't matter what your age is. So I don't want you to think, oh, I'm too old to start this, or maybe I'm too young to be successful at this. Don't think that. That is a limiting belief, and it is just simply not true. You can start this at any age as long as you have the desire to do it. Okay, let's talk about what you do need to be successful as a freelance bookkeeper. The first thing you're going to want to make sure you have are core bookkeeping skills. Now, if you've never done bookkeeping before, don't fret, because you can learn these skills. It's not like going to school for 4 years or anything like that. You can learn core bookkeeping foundational skills fairly quickly. As long as you have the desire to do it, you can learn the skills. But you don't want to go out and work with clients if you have zero knowledge and you don't even know exactly what a bookkeeper does. Obviously, you don't want to go take on a client with that kind of skill set. You want to get the core foundational skills so that you understand what your goal is as a bookkeeper and the value you provide and how to provide that value to your clients. The second thing you're going to make sure you want to have as a freelance bookkeeper to be successful is an eye for detail. Now, I will admit, I am not very detail oriented. I never have been, and I'm not a super organized person either, but I have had to teach myself how to be detailed, just to have an eye for details. And what I mean by that is just being able to see abnormalities and things that look out of place. And it's kind of like being a problem solver, which is another thing you need to have to be successful at this, is you want to be a problem solver, because bookkeeping to me is like putting together a giant puzzle. And if there's a piece of the puzzle missing, the picture isn't going to become clear. Once you have all those pieces in place, there's this beautiful picture of what is happening in the business. So think of bookkeeping as kind of like putting a puzzle together. And if you like putting puzzles together, and you like having that eye for detail, and you like problem solving, you're going to be really successful at this, and you're going to have a lot of fun at it. Okay, the next thing that you want to make sure you have is good relationship building skills. And that's true for any freelancer. And I have actually worked alongside bookkeepers and have replaced bookkeepers who really weren't good at those soft skills, the relationship building, and that hurt them in the long run, because then clients don't feel connected to them, and it's easy to switch bookkeepers, and they're not providing those soft skill values that I feel like are really, really important. So you've got your hard skills, which are when I say hard, I mean your actual skills of bookkeeping. Then you have soft skills, which are relationship building. The other one is good communication skills. That is the number one reason I've seen bookkeepers get fired by their clients, is they can't respond to an email, or they can't just get back to them in a timely manner, because sometimes financial data that a client needs is timely and important. They might need it to get a bank loan or something. And so they reach out to their bookkeeper for the information, and their bookkeeper doesn't respond for a week or two or longer. And it's just simple things like that that can make you really successful as a freelancer. And that's true in any field, right? Good communication, good relationship building skills. Okay, the next thing you need to be really successful as a freelance bookkeeper is you need to be honest and have integrity. And that should probably go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's important. And this is a field where you're dealing with people's financial information, and you're dealing with sensitive information that could be payroll information, just financial information, bank information. And it's really important that you work with a lot of integrity in everything you do, and that you're always honest as a bookkeeper. It's really important to have those pillars down, because without that, you really need to find a different line of work. But you're watching this, so I'm sure you have that. And so I wouldn't worry. As long as you're an honest person and you have a lot of integrity, then you're going to be awesome. So those are the key things I think you need in order to be successful freelance bookkeeper. And I've been doing this over 20 years. So I've seen people come and go. I've seen a lot of different situations. And truly, it's the soft skills that are just as important as the hard skills to really be successful as a freelancer. Okay, if you're interested in becoming a freelance bookkeeper, I encourage you to click below this video to get my free Bookkeeper Starter Kit download. It'll get you started setting some goals and getting your brain moving and how you can start this wonderful journey of freelance bookkeeping.